All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another latest installment of your Chelsea news, Chelsea transfer news, all that jazz. Lots popping off as usual. Of course, we've got a lot of things latest in regards to Enzo Fernandez issue, which is just escalating to different levels, but we're going to park that for a side because obviously we're tired of talking about that. Even though it's a very serious situation, it's something that we do need to talk about in detail on a regular basis, but it's something that let's park it for a little bit on the side. We're going to come back to it and talk about everything that has happened over the last 24 hours in regards to Enzo Fernandez. We want to talk about some transfer news. First, we want to talk about goalkeepers, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest talk in town right now. Apparently, over the last 24 hours, Chelsea have decided to purchase another goalkeeper. This is coming from Matt Law, and generally, someone like Matt Law, you should probably pay some attention to him when it comes to transfer news, when it comes to his opinion pieces. Yeah, I don't give 2 cents about Matt Law's opinions, but transfer news, this brother does have some information. There's no two ways about it. But I haven't really heard anything from Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein as yet, so they're the two big dogs. But having said that, Matt Law is saying that we are in the market apparently over the last 24 hours. Now, what does that say? Everything that we've heard in regards to Robert Sanchez over the past month or so, since the window is open, since Enzo Maresca has been appointed as Chelsea manager, it's been told that Robert Sanchez is going to be the #1 goalkeeper for Chelsea Football Club. And we're not really in the market for anyone at the moment because, look, it makes sense. Not that it makes sense in the situation that Robert Sanchez is a fantastic goalkeeper. No, not in that particular manner. It makes sense because we've got too many goalkeepers and we do need to get rid of these goalkeepers before we can think about buying someone outstanding. So we've got Kepa, we've got Petrovic, we've got Robert Sanchez. So it's a bit of a mess, and Kepa we've not been able to get rid of Kepa as yet. There's been offers for him from Saudi Arabia, but he's not keen. He's looking to wait for Real Madrid. Apparently, I don't understand. Like, Kepa, you're waiting for Real Madrid, who's dropped you. Like, I don't get this. Like, I don't know what some of these goalkeepers or some of these players think. Like, you don't have a future at Real Madrid, Kepa, mate. Like, it's going to be Thibaut Courtois there. But look, it is what it is. Maybe he wants to go back to Spain. Maybe that's the case, Spanish background. Now, the issue is Lunin, ladies and gentlemen. Lunin's name is being thrown around. Obviously, Thibaut Courtois is going to be back fully fit this time around, unless there's another injury. Which means Lunin, who's done really well last season for Real Madrid, is going to be #2, and I don't think Lunin is in any position at the moment to be #2 anymore. He feels he's worthy enough to be #1, and he doesn't want to play second fiddle anymore, which is fair enough. Now, he's being linked to Chelsea Football Club heavily from the Spanish side of things because Kepa wants to go to Real Madrid, and it's very natural that you link Lunin to Chelsea as well. Possibly a swap, not from the book's point of view, but from a hypothetical point of view, a swap. Now, Lunin is a very good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong. I've seen quite a lot of Real Madrid last season. He's a very good goalkeeper, but he's not someone who will fit Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca needs a goalkeeper who's not only a very good shot stopper, who's not only very good in terms of commanding the box, but you have to be equally good on the ball. For Enzo Maresca, people need to understand, the goalkeeper starts the build-up. If you're not good on the ball, and if you're not able to sit in between the two defenders and actually be an outfield player, you're no good. You may be the best shot stopper out there, but you are pathetic on the ball. You're no good. Now, I'm not saying Lunin is pathetic on the ball. Lunin's pretty all right, but he's not. I don't think he cuts it. I really don't think he cuts it. For me, it's if it does end up being something like that, where we end up getting Lunin, Kepa goes over there, I'm still not sure who should be the #1 goalkeeper at Chelsea Football Club. Like right now, obviously Robert Sanchez gets the nod. And there's a debate over Robert Sanchez and Petrovic. Let me tell you guys something about Petrovic and Robert Sanchez before we talk a little bit more about this goalkeeping situation. Robert Sanchez and Petrovic, look, last season under Pochettino, who didn't really focus too much on systematic build-up from the back. You didn't need a goalkeeper that had to be superior on the ball. You just needed a goalkeeper that is competent in shot stopping, which Petrovic was, which Robert Sanchez, unfortunately, most times wasn't. There has been games where Robert Sanchez was good, but predominantly Robert Sanchez, he wasn't that great, and Petrovic took over and became number one. But all the fans, all the, knowledgeable fans could see that Petrovic lacked ball playing ability. He had some level of ball playing ability, don't get me wrong, but not to the standard that someone like Enzo Maresca would want. So we all knew in the fan base that Petrovic, if a manager like Enzo comes in, then his position's probably going to be under massive scrutiny, and that's exactly what has happened. It hasn't taken too long for Enzo Maresca to come in and realize, Petrovic is probably not going to be number one. That's why Robert Sanchez is been deemed as number one, because he's a tad bit better when it comes to ball playing ability. Now, even last season we saw Robert Sanchez, his ball playing sometimes was atrocious. His shot stopping was atrocious, but at least Robert Sanchez, he's got the attributes. He's got the attributes to do the job. I've seen it in Brighton as well under Graham Potter. Do I think he's good enough? Probably not. Bottom line, Chelsea Football Club needs a very, very good goalkeeper who's good on the ball. Now, I don't know who's out there in the market. There's other names that's getting thrown around. I think Mamardashvili from Georgia national team, he's getting thrown around. Believe he's Valencia goalkeeper. Villarreal goalkeeper is getting his name's being thrown around. Jorgensen, I think that's his name. I don't know how both of these goalkeepers are in terms of their ball playing ability. I've not watched too much of Mamardashvili or Jorgensen, but a lot of people are like, Mamardashvili, I think he's okay. Jorgensen, shot stopping is not that great. So look, it is a conundrum. The goalkeeper situation is a conundrum. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment, lots of talks happening that we are in the market for a goalkeeper, but we have to get rid of Kepa, and looks like maybe Lunin is being involved. It's a mess. It's a mess. Let me know your thoughts. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Mek. Gabriel Mek is that yet another Brazilian wonder kid sensation, 16-year-old that is getting touted to be the next Chelsea signing. We have lost a youngster recently to Liverpool, which the fan base was up in roar, and now we've replaced him with potentially another player from Brazil, youngster, who a lot of people think he's also going to be a superstar. So that's going to happen. Gabriel Mek, I don't know too much about him. All I know is he's an attacking midfielder, and yeah, he's deemed as a very, very supreme level youngster. So that's a little bit about Gabriel Mek. Now, the rest of the video I want to spend talking about Enzo Fernandez. That's all the transfer news that's done. Now let's talk about Enzo Fernandez in detail. So over the last 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, what has happened? Enzo Fernandez's father has come out publicly defending his son, saying that he's not a racist. He's not a racist. And I also believe, I honestly believe that Enzo Fernandez is not a racist. What he's done is wrong. He needs education. He needs to understand what is deemed as offensive, what is not deemed as offensive. He needs education. I'm still of the belief that someone who truly knows, like if I know that I'm about to produce a content that is going to upset a lot of people, I'm not doing that content, because I have that self-awareness that I don't want to go out there and upset people because it's offensive. So for Enzo Fernandez to put out that video and have that vile chant, I don't think he's completely aware of how degrading that song is. So I personally don't think he's racist. However, he does lack education and understanding of the matter. So his father has come out publicly stating he's not a racist, and he's defending his son. Rodrigo de Paul has come out publicly and defended his teammate. Alexis McAllister has come out and defended his teammate. Now, my issue with all of this is apparently now FIFA will definitely investigate the matter. FA, I'm not sure whether they're going to be investigating the matter, but FIFA are looking into that video. Obviously, Chelsea's doing their investigation. My issue with all of this now is, and it's starting to really frustrate me heaps, is that are people now, and a lot of people have said this in the initial video when this first incident occurred, people are acting as if Enzo Fernandez was the only one in that video. Like, are we just going to sit here and just pretend that Enzo Fernandez just did a solo video or something like this? Like, imagine I'm Enzo and there's no one behind me, and he did a solo live stream on Instagram and he was chanting all by himself. Are we going to ignore the fact that that video had a lot of other team members of the squad, and they were also singing and chanting? If you literally see that video, you'll be able to name who those players are and who was involved in that incident and who was there in the bus. Like, are we going to like, why is all of this investigation on Enzo, investigation, people are coming out attacking Enzo? Like, I get it was him who was live streaming it, I get it was his phone, it was his account, I get he was in the face of it, but are we just going to pretend he was the only one who was singing that? It was the entire Argentinian team. So if we are going to go down the route where we're going to punish Enzo Fernandez, how is that justifiable? Why just Enzo Fernandez? Why is he being made an example of this entire situation? Why? I have no issue of Enzo Fernandez being punished, but I think why my issue is that there should be other players involved and getting punished similarly as well. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that all attention is on Chelsea, on Enzo Fernandez. And I do blame our fan base as well. A lot of people have come forward and say, well, it's the Chelsea fan base that's created this. The people that don't like Enzo Fernandez, they've always had an agenda against him. Now they're putting his name out there. And Chelsea are the one who's created this scenario that it's only Enzo Fernandez. I do blame it to a certain degree on that notion. But now we all need to step forward and go, well, we've got no problems with Enzo getting punished, because he should be getting punished, and there should be an educational factor on this entire piece so that he learns from this mistake. But so does these other players. And what also bothers me, that some of his teammates in the likes of McAllister and Rodrigo de Paul coming out and stating as if it was only Enzo Fernandez. Like, they're defending and supporting their fellow teammate, but they're also pretending and acting like no other players were involved. And this is where my issue is, that if Enzo Fernandez ends up getting a ban of 6 matches or 12 matches in the upcoming season, because now that FIFA is investigating this, there's going to be some repercussion. You best believe there's going to be some repercussion. It's not just going to be from a monetary standpoint. I don't think he should be the only one who should get banned for this particular matter. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. I find this quite strange, and still a lot of people are quite upset with, you know, Wesley Fofana, you know, putting out that statement saying, you know, 2024 racism still exists and so on and so forth. I'm still not going to blame Wesley Fofana. He did what he wanted to do publicly. He was definitely offended. Obviously, him coming from a French background, black French player, and from an African heritage as well. So I get it that he's publicly done that. But I just want to pose the question to you guys. Sure, he's done it and he's got every right to do it. But I want to ask you guys, say you're a teammate. You're a teammate. Like, oh, okay, let me pose this example to you guys. Let's say me, Matisse, Eunice, Baba, Javon, part of the all-you-can-eat Chelsea group. And we know each other really, really well. And I was to go out there and mistakenly done something, and I've put it publicly. Would it be wise for the other lads to then publicly put me on the show as well, or would it be wise for them to reach me privately and demand an apology? Not demand, or say that, look mate, you've done something wrong, you should come out and say sorry about it. And I know, me being me, I would have appreciated that approach as opposed to being put out front and I would have said sorry, and I would have also put a public apology, and I would have said sorry as well, and I would have moved on. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not blaming Wesley Fofana one bit for what he has done. He's done what he's wanted to do, and he's got the right to do that. But did that situation further escalate this matter? And it's got to a point where now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it's going to be resolved. Like, Enzo Fernandez, I fear he might have to leave Chelsea Football Club, man. Honestly, I fear he might have to leave. I really do fear that he might have to leave, because what's the solution here? He gets banned. He's going to be deemed as a racist in English media, English public, in front of, you know, all the fans out there. He's going to be deemed as a racist. And I don't know if Chelsea teammates are ever going to, especially the French-based black players, are ever going to be able to accept his apology. Like, it's a very, very tough situation that Enzo Fernandez finds himself in. And I'm very worried that this brother is probably now, the solution is probably he's going to have to leave. He will probably have to leave. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything that has gone and happened in terms of Chelsea transfer news, in terms of Enzo Fernandez news as well. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya. Bye.